So welcome children. Thank you so much for joining Monisha auntie on the screen today. I believe that all of us here on the screen today and so many children I know who are rock stars outside are all children who are smart and children who are making the impossible possible. I'm going to directly dive into the topic. Like I was telling you offline that this topic is a very simple topic, but not many understand it. What would any of you do, right, to make your environment, your society a little more inclusive, right? If you feel that the society is not very inclusive towards so many of us, what do you think you can do to make it a little more inclusive and empathetic?
So what I feel to make society more empathetic and inclusive is to educate them about the problems going around in our surroundings. And I would like for them to think for the other person's shoes, think in the other person's shoes for a moment and imagine how they'd be treated. Favorite quote is by a Chinese philosopher called Confucius. Do to others what you wish to be done on you.
Absolutely, you're so right there, Arav, which only means that you should only do those kind of things, right? Or say those kind of things to others that you want others to do to you, right? All good things, happy things.
In our society, there are a lot of people who face a lot of problems. Like, there are elderly people who have trouble going up the stairs, and then there are people who have maybe broken a leg or got shot in one of their limbs and they cannot walk properly or move on their own. So, what do we usually do in the situation? Build a ramp, take a lift, but are those actually that helpful? Because when we do something, we need to do it in a way it might be helpful to the people who actually need it. For example, building a very steep ramp, it will not help the elderly just use the ramp. It needs to be built in a degree on which they can climb it. And then those people who use wheelchairs, the people driving the wheelchairs, they can't go up this steep ramp because the wheelchair is prone to rolling back down. They need to be in a correct degree so that it is easy for the people to climb. And then when we talk about elevators, when elevators fail, they stop working. There's usually no other option to climb stairs. Many elevators are so narrow that it's difficult to enter.
This is actually where empathy also kicks in. You're not putting your mind in the right place and trying to figure out, yes, at what angle do you have to build it? And at what size one has to build it, whether the wheelchair will actually get in, whether one helper along with the person can get in, then that sense of inclusivity is shallow. You're just doing it for the heck of it. You're really not putting your heart into that, act of trying to, create an inclusive environment. And that kind of empathy is very shallow empathy. They don't really do it because they care, right? It's as good as doing nothing for anybody.
I have a few examples, and it's not only with respect to physical challenges or learning challenges. Like other examples are, let's say there are people in your group who speak a different language and they can't really speak the common language, which is English, very fluently. So don't make them feel inferior about that. It should be a two-way thing where you are trying to learn what they're trying to say and they want to learn what you're trying to say. Another example is sports. In school, you only see sports that are that can be played by people with no physical challenges, and there is no aspect of sports that can be played by people with physical challenges at all.
School and education space, right? You have normal sports day, isn't it? We all participate, we run races, we do hurdle races, relay races, ye wo sab karte hain. What about sports for children who really can't participate in the normal way. Have you ever come across in any of your schools or any of your programs on sports day where you're having a race for children on I'm saying, just let's say wheelchair, for example? Very, very few incidences are there like that. Training us to be doctors and engineers and computer science, techies. But what about creating a better society? Who's going to think about that? Are you going to wait for somebody to create it and give it to you on a platter, or do you think
If we form a community and try doing things like putting ramps in places, like if there is one person in each area, can try doing that, like make a community and or do things that will help people, like
every community in the sense we all stay in residential complexes, right? So there must be some residential association who can take charge of these kind of simple steps. If you're going to a school, the school administration can take these kind of steps. If you are going to retail, let's say a mall, right, a developer, somebody who builds that space should take the initiative and make the correct design for these kind of things. I would want to add here that if you are one of the people who are facing a challenge of any kind and you feel that something is missing, you need to get out there and ask them to implement it.
I couldn't agree more with you.
Right? We have
We
to learn
usually
to
don't
ask.
try to express our problems when we feel that nobody else has them.
Exactly. No, I think also because we feel scared, right? Oh, we are just one of us or two of us, right? Who listen to us? That's what we feel. We are the ones who start with that process of alienating ourselves, is what I feel, honestly.
As I said that everyone should be participated in everything. Like no matter how you're normal or you're silent, you should be included in everything. So that it can help in your overall development, and it can also help in the future, so that you'll be more confident and things in the future will be easier for you.
Absolutely. This voice is not, if your inner voice is not strong enough or trained by then, trust me, it's going to be a difficult life.
How many times you try to make an environment accessible or inclusive, it doesn't matter unless the intention,
Is right.
the intent of the person is right. Just apply your heart and try to make the environment inclusive.
people think that every kind of ramp is the same, and they think that it's easy to get up onto a ramp because it's just a slope and it doesn't matter how many degrees it is. So they think that if it's a steep ramp, then the people will somehow manage to get up. And some people understand the difficulty because they might have had someone in the family who has not been able to walk and they have traveled, they have difficulty in traveling.
In doing things to make the society more inclusive, we usually think of only ramps and elevators. But what about bathrooms, roads, all those places? Like roads, when people walk on them, they don't even feel the actual texture of the road. But when a wheelchair is wheeled, you can actually feel the tremors running through your body. That's how rough the road is. And you actually feel that the roads are not good. Also the point of bumpers on the roads which are made to slow down the cars. They are usually really high and are constructed in pairs. So one bumper is alright, you can manage. Two bumpers will cause more discomfort. And now coming to the topic of bathrooms, usually public toilets and even bathrooms made in schools, they are very narrow. So a person who has a physical disability cannot move in them. They cannot turn around properly. Even normal people have trouble. When talking of inclusivity, again, we don't usually try doing things unless we absolutely need them. Schools, colleges, even other places. Schools, they actually refuse to take in students who have physical disabilities because they do not have the facilities to sustain them. They don't usually try to make the facilities and then see if the students can participate.
You start thinking for others, then comes giving, designing spaces correctly, then comes giving them admission, then comes giving, building proper roads, pavements. How many times have you had a public speaking platform or a debate competition on a topic like this? That's my simple question.
Not
Never,
at all.
right? So
And
this is the
people usually don't think unless it directly affects them.
yeah, absolutely right.
I
And
sometimes wonder what
Hmm.
people did in those early times when they did not even have the knowledge of wheelchairs, ramps, elevators, the technology. How did people manage?
tell you that time people managed far better because I think somewhere the society was very closely knit. Deepika, do you agree? I don't know how it is in Kuwait. You want to tell us all?
There are better roads in Kuwait, and every place you go, there is a ramp for people for their wheelchairs so that they can go to their places.
Outside our country, I'll tell you why the systems, and especially in slightly more developed places, it's a little better because the civic administration, the people who design the city and the buildings, etc., etc. I'm just talking the physical spaces. There is some framework and standards in place. I think we need to stop thinking that the administrative services of the country, right? It is a space that is not for us. I think that is where we need to get in. Whether it is at a community level, you become a part of the association of your building, that is also fine. But get into the decision-making spaces, right? So start raising your voice everywhere you go. And whenever somebody gives you a mic to speak, talk about what matters to you.
I just wanted to say that not everyone gets treated equally. Like, for example, you're having physical disabilities, but you're interested in modeling, walking down a ramp, even though you're in a wheelchair. So then you go to audition, then you do very well and you get selected. But they won't allow you to walk down the ramp because you have physical disability and they want everything perfect, they want you to walk down the ramp.
Did you ask them why?
No.
Why didn't you? You should ask the next time, right? I've seen fashion shows outside, which are designed, even the designers, right? The people who design the clothes, they do it specifically for children or adults on wheelchair. And they have inclusive fashion shows. So, if there is a fashion show, a certain kind of dress will be made for a person on the wheelchair because obviously the person has to sit in a certain way. It cannot be flowy, it cannot be a big gown, etc. And if it's a person who's walking down, it's designed a certain way. There's consciousness and empathy at that level. Because the need of the hour is for young people, for old people, for people like us who are middle-aged, to stop thinking that somebody is going to do it for us. Koi nahi karega.
Yeah.
We need to do it ourselves. It's as simple as that, right? So that's a promise we're all taking in this room today, online room, so as to speak, that we will start doing little things.
Inclusivity is such a broad term, and there are so many like aspects of it. So some examples are, let's say, diversity in the classroom, like from different religions or races. Then diversity in the movie industry, like not seeing only a particular color of skin. People, in all the movies you watch, you should have more people of color. And then like immigrants or refugees, when they are moving to a completely different country with no knowledge whatsoever about what's going to happen, make them feel at home, and do not make the like don't treat them like they're aliens in your motherland. Make awareness about sports that can be played by physically challenged people. For that, you need to have them in your school in the first place. Like, schools turn away these children and do not let them get admitted in their schools, and then that's what leads them to promoting only sports that can be played by students with no challenges physically, and that is wrong. And Kia has first-hand experience with that.
Like you rightly said, schools don't readily give admissions to children with special abilities. So have you ever seen too many children on wheelchairs, first of all?
No, not for all the years I've been in a physical school. I have not seen anybody physically challenged
Even
in
I
my
have not
class or
seen
in my
anyone.
grade.
How often did Debo, Kea, Arav, Mahima, how often have you all taken help from anybody around you in your environment?
Since I'm in grade 6, I don't think my friends are capable of helping me.
Okay.
But yeah, because the wheelchair is too heavy to lift. Whenever I'm going to the ground floor from the 6th floor in my school, or whenever I'm going upside down, nearly nobody to help. There are maybe, when I'm lucky, maybe 1 or 2 guards near me, but on the ground floor, it's extremely deserted, and that's the problem.
Don't you feel angry, Arav? Or you've made peace with it?
I would say I was irritated, not angry. I was irritated and annoyed that they hadn't even thought of a ramp.
Acha.
So there isn't a ramp, it's stairs.
Okay.
So there is an elevator there. So I use that elevator at times, but it is not available. Another problem I face is that oftentimes in the washroom, oftentimes the entrance is too narrow. All those didis that clean the floor, they don't. And simply, there have been multiple instances where I have fell on the bathroom just by slipping by my caretaker.
Where Kea was studying. It was a very old convent school, right? It was almost 80 odd years old, and or probably even more if I'm not wrong. They didn't have ramps, and the classroom that Kea had was on the 2nd floor at time. I had to literally carry her. Even if it was a maid who would come to help with her and I had to go to work after dropping, she would say that, Madam, mera peet dukhega, aap uthao, she would just carry the bag and I would have to carry Kea and the, wheelchair.
Little things make a
huge difference. Absolutely.
Completely agree.
Absolutely. So that is where, Arav was just saying that, simple things can make such a huge difference. But the reason why people don't realize this is because people with physical problems are just maybe 1, 2, 3 people out of the entire school population.
In school, I think honestly, even there was a maid who would come with me. A few times they would go to sleep. So I think like in school, instead of the teacher or anyone helping, it would be my friends like taking out a tiffin or taking out the books.
In my school, we celebrate every type of irrelevant holiday there is. There are no holidays they provide or days they provide or weeks that improve awareness about diseases or inform about inclusion and empathy.
Can I have everybody clap for Arav, please? Such a valid point, yeah. How many of you all are speaking about SMA awareness in the school or asking why are we not speaking about it, knowing it's such a difficult disease to live with and the treatment is so expensive? So Deboshmita, thank you so much. And before you go, can you please introduce yourself?
I am Deboshmita Ghosh. I study in grade 8 of Indus Valley World School. I will be turning 13 next month. And I love to read storybooks and sing.
Excellent. And you're not just SMA type 2, right? You're much, much more than that.
No.
Right? So
Not
that is your introduction. You're way above SMA type 2.
I just wanted to say that everyone does help me. But there are some places where, everyone can't be there. Like my mother used to ask in my previous school that can you please put her, class down on the floor so that she doesn't need to climb and everything. Music class used to be in some other place. And then game period, and they all couldn't be in the same place, So you had to go there. But over there also you can't go because there's no ramp and
everywhere. If you've noticed, whether it's Arab school, it was Kia was lucky and in her last school to have got the support. In fact, she has been lucky all along. The school has been very kind to her, but it's the same problem everywhere.
I've been constantly completing my work in maths and not being left behind. But for those of my friends that were left behind, I noticed that whenever they asked a question, that seems stupid to everybody, but was actually a concept doubt, was often either due to peer pressure they were silenced, or ma'am simply used to not answer their questions.
This is how a sharp child, an intelligent child is discriminated from a not so intelligent child. Tomorrow, when you step out into the world, Arav, you will be amazed how even people who are fully able-bodied face challenges. Life is not going to be easy, huh? It's not going to be cozy, it's not going to be comfortable. Start figuring out whether you need to speak at times, write at times, express at times.
I think that people can create more ramps in public places. You can accept their differences and not differentiate people.
At the end of the day, nobody is a monster, nobody is anything.
Yes.
Everybody at the end of the day, every child is just somebody that just deserves love and conditioning.
Absolutely. Rika, you want to go in terms of all the good things. Let's talk about the good things now, okay? How all the positive things that you have seen in your environment may not be just limited to ramps and lifts only.
So in Kuwait, there are a lot of people with children with genetic disorders, but they have those specialized cars, parking, toilets, etc. Children, they don't come out usually. They have separate schools. They have counseling sessions, which can make them feel better.
It's not like that they aren't institutions or educational institutions which are not catering to different kinds or types of children with different challenges, but there are very few which just do not have, I think, the ability to adapt to different kinds of children. Sometimes they are taught to explain things in a certain way and finish it quickly and then move on to the next. Each of you had to ask one thing that you need, right, to make you feel more included in your society.
One is that treat everybody equal.
What do you mean by that? It's a very broad term. Equal how? So do you want equality in with respect to admissions in school, or equality with respect to jobs in workplaces, or equality with right to move freely on the roads? It's a big thing, no? Or is it all of them?
I think it's all of them.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be treated as an equal, and every single provision should be made to make you feel equal.
Second one is like you should make everyone participate in everything, no matter how they are, because participation is important and it will help you also in your future.
Absolutely agreed. Next time, will you also ask for it to be granted in case you're being left out? Can you request?
Yes.
Because if you ask, you get it. You know that, right? Sometimes, even with your parents, unless you ask, the parent doesn't know what you want. So when it can happen with parents, you can imagine how it can be in the society, right? It will be very difficult. People don't know you.
I think to make every place convenient for traveling, ramps at a good degree so that the wheelchair or anything can like go up on it, and then the roads should be properly made. Like even in a car, when one person is trying to travel, the roads are very narrow.
Classmates or some other students call me a kitten. Sometimes handicapped. Sometimes I would like that people stop using derogatory terms. Yes, such as cripple and handicap.
So can you do me a favor? Next time somebody calls you anything but specially able, can you correct them? It's like, telling somebody who can't pronounce your name, this is the way to pronounce my name, right?
I think spreading the awareness is the first step, so that people know that there's an issue. Because there are a lot of times where you're having a conversation with someone and they seem so clueless as to what's going on. Because they are not the ones affected, so why bother? Is their attitude.
Correct.
And that shouldn't be the case. Always talk about it. That's the first step.
Find an opportunity to talk.
Yes, and also I think you had asked the question of what is the right term.
Right term, yes.
To use. Specially abled and normal. So special and normal, that is where the problem arises. Like what is normal to us?
In my point of view, sometimes people need only a listening ear. People just talk. they just share their thoughts, what they think about that person. Just don't judge people. If somebody is behaving in a particular way, then if you just have to acknowledge that.
I agree with everyone, but I think most importantly, people should treat everyone the same way.
Equally. You guys are amazing. You have a mind, you're speaking it. The only thing that is not happening is step 2, which is asking for that change, little changes, right? That you need. It starts with the changes that you need first, and then you can talk about changes that the rest of the community needs, etc. End with a round of introduction.
My name is Arav Sharma, the son of Alpana Sharma, and I study in Vibjo High School, Kharghar. I live in Navi Mumbai, and I have scored various medals and accolades in several Olympiads and competitions such as math, science, social studies such as history and geography, and computer.
Excellent. And you're more than SMA type 2.
Yes.
Yes, so SMA type 2 comes in right at the end. Thank you so much, Arav, and may God bless you. Keep on doing well.
Hello everyone, I'm Mahima Sagar. I'm 12 years old. I'm studying in 21K school. My hobbies are singing and reading books. My passion is music, so I love singing. I'm learning Western classical music. And since I love music so much, I wrote a book this summer. It's called Music is the Voice of a Soul, and it was published by Breebook.com. Also, last Sunday, I have participated in Fashion Week as the showstopper.
Excellent. And you finally walked that ramp.
Yeah.
See, you made the change. That's exactly what we need to do. So everybody please clap for Mahima. I think she's done exactly what needed to be done. She's laid an example for many more people to come forward and do what she did. So super proud of you, Mahima. Keep doing what you're doing. And always remember that you're more than SMA type 3. Don't let anybody label you.
My name is Shipra Morikar and I study in Podar International School. I'm 10 and a half years old. I'm turning 11 this month. I'm very good at biology and I want to become a doctor.
Excellent. Kira's biggest ability is that she takes time out to spend, her valuable time on the weekends with children who are affected by Down syndrome. She actually is, best friends with them. She dedicates time, and that is what creates, or rather has made her, an empathetic person. I am so sure that she's going to grow up and do much, much more empathetic things for making the society more inclusive. So thank you so much, Shipra, for being who you are. I am super proud of you, and hope we have more Shipras, in the society and making us all proud.
So hello everyone, my name is Kia Hatkar. I am 12 years old. I currently am studying in the 7th grade. I like painting, drawing, speaking, coding, and one of my latest hobby is also writing. So I wrote a book earlier this year when I was recovering from my spine surgery called Dancing on My Wheels, for which I received the best-selling and entrepreneurship award. This September, my book will also be available in the Brooklyn's Book Festival, for which I'm very excited. Also, my first app went up on Play Store a few months ago. And at the age of 10 months, I was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called Spinal Muscular Atrophy, or in short called SMA type 2. I am not just an SMA type 2. I'm much more than that.
And all that you mentioned are your special abilities, right?
Yes.
So if anybody asks you that what makes you specially abled, you should say this is what makes me specially abled, right? That's how we are going to change the definition. Thank you, Kia. I can't be more proud. You know that, okay? I'm not because I'm your mom, but I'm supremely, indebted and lucky that I get to be your mom, and I'm raising such a strong girl. Okay. So thank you for being who you are.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Deepika Vijay Raghavan and I'm currently in 10th grade studying in Bharati Vidya Bhavan's Kuwait. I love to read a lot of books. I love Sudha Murthy and I'm a certified level 2 Kathak dancer and my passion is to dance, read, paint, and I've also won the mayoral award on reading while I was in Australia.
Wow.
And in Kuwait, I have won award for doing the best position paper life in Mexican prisons at the national level model UN.
Wow.
Psychology is a stream which I have been focusing more. I'm just trying for a psychology.
Super proud of you, Deepika. Please stay in touch with us. We're going to keep doing, nice conversations like this because super proud of Naira. What about you? What is this rock and star made of?
Everyone, my name is Naira and I am 17 years old. I turned 17 very recently and I'm completing my 12th grade soon. And I'm also Kia's elder sister. And I have a lot of interest in music, dance, playing the guitar.
We have to become survivors, thrivers, people who are successful, not just monetarily, but from aspects of being a good human being. Everybody is specially able, right? We all have special passions, we have special hobbies, we like to do special outings. Special abilities doesn't mean that I can't walk, I can't talk, I can't hear. It doesn't get defined by the word can't. It can also get defined by the word can. Promise me that we are not going to keep quiet. Okay, if we see something not happening right, the least we can do is speak about it. Yes? Thumbs up? Good. And we are way above our problems, guys. So stop tagging yourself normal, special. We are all part of an inclusive society. Stay healthy, happy, and blessed always. Okay, super proud of your parents. Take care.